lovelies, so today I thought it would be fun to show you guys how to make duct tape bows for your hair or decorations. So for this project, all you're going to need is a roll of duct tape of your choosing. I have pink right here. A pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife, whichever you prefer. And then if you want to decorate, like I just have plain duct tape here, you can do whatever you like with a Sharpie, and you can use different kinds of Sharpies and whatever you like to decorate from there. So for starters, I'm just going to show you how to make the simple bow. So to start, we're just going to take our duct tape and we're going to begin with a long strip. I like to do about 18 inches or so, just because we can cut it up smaller from there. So I'm just going to cut that. And then I'm laying it on the table sticky side up. Then I'm going to make another piece the same length, or as close to it as possible. I'm just going to cut that as well. So now you're going to want to lay this sticky side down to make a duct tape sheet. And it'll be, you want to kind of put the duct tape unevenly. What I mean by that is, I'll show you. So I'm going to lay it down and flatten it out and make sure there's no bubbles. So I leave an edge on the top, as you can see on the top. So it's on both sides. And that is there to protect the side of the duct tape. So what I'm going to do with that part is I'm just going to fold it over on both sides. So this little edge, I'm just going to fold down starting with the center and working my way out until it's completely folded down. And that'll just give you kind of a cleaner looking edge. So you want to do that on both sides, so just flip it over and do the same thing. We're going to fold that edge down to give it a nice clean edge. So now I have a two-sided strip of duct tape. And I'm going to go ahead and fold these edges over as well. I have a little bit of extra room on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to fold that down as well. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold each side up. So with the fold facing yourself, so I have the fold facing me, I'm going to take this top part and fold it towards me. And then we're going to flip it over so that the fold is still facing me. And we're going to fold that towards us again on the other side. So now we have kind of an accordion looking thing. If you can see, it's like a W or an M. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is fold it hamburger style so that we know where the center is. And we're going to unfold that, and now we're going to fold the edges in towards that center. So we have this end and we have this end. So now this is what we have. So what I'm going to do now is lay that like this, and I'm going to grab a small strip of duct tape. I'm going to cut off just a small smidge of duct tape here. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape these edges together. and then fold the edges over. So now what we have is a loop of duct tape. Okay, So now you can make your bow. And that piece of tape that you just put, you're going to want to leave that on the outside. So you're going to fold it hot dog style. So that piece of tape that you have, that's just for aesthetics. And then we're going to do that fold again. So we end up with the M shape. And you'll start to see your bow come together. So now we have that M shape again, as you can see. So now I'm going to get another piece of duct tape. Just about 3 or 4 inches or so. We can cut it to adjust it, and I'm just going to fold it in on itself, like so. And we're going to keep folding that in on itself to create a tiny strip of duct tape. And make sure you want to keep the air bubbles out as best as possible. When you're just starting off with duct tape, that is the main problem you might encounter. So then, just to clean up the edges, I'm just going to cut off any excess on the edges. And we're going to grab that bow. And that little strip that we said was on the back, we're going to face that towards the back. So this is going to be the front of the bow, and we're going to take this little strip and we're going to wrap that around that center of the bow. And then I'm going to take another small strip of duct tape, even smaller than what we had. So now I have another strip of duct tape, and what I'm going to do is neatly fold that first strip, and then we're going to tape the end down. So if you want it to look really pretty, you want that end to end up on the very back. So I'm just going to cut my strip down a little bit more. You want it to be pretty tight. So I'm just going to tape that down. As tightly as possible. And now you can fluff up your bow. So you're going to stick your fingers through those edges and kind of begin to fluff that up as much as you'd like. And there you have a bow. To make this one, it's the same type of dealie. We're just going to make them we're going to make a small bow, we're going to make a big bow, and then we're just going to wrap them into each other. So again, we're going to start out with a strip of duct tape. This time we're only going to use about 12 inches. So we're going to lay that sticky side up and get another piece. And again, we're going to lay this off center just a little bit so we have those edges to fold over. And we're going to smooth it out so there's no bubbles. And we're going to fold that edge down. We're going to fold that in on itself, like so, and tack that down with a piece of duct tape to form that first loop. So now we have our loop of duct tape, and then we're going to do those folds, and you want the ugly side facing out again. So hot dog style, hot dog again, and hot dog again. So there's like the beginnings of your bow. So this is going to be the larger bow. So now we're going to make a smaller bow to fit inside that. So we want to cut a piece that's just about the same length as this. Maybe a little bit bigger so that you can trim it down if you need to. Okay, same deal, sticky side up. You want to put that down off center. And then I'm just going to cut this down to size. So now we have a strip of duct tape that's almost as long as this. And we're going to fold that to make it into a loop, just like we did the larger one. I'm going to cut off a small strip of tape. And tack that down. So now I have a little tiny strip. So I'm going to fold this as well, with the ugly side facing out. And we have a little tiny bow. Okay, so now we're going to take that big bow and the little bow. We're going to make sure they're both folded the way that we want them, like this and like this, and we're going to put those into each other like so. We're just going to lay them on top of each other and then fold them in. Now don't worry, it's not looking so pretty right now because when we fluff it up it'll be beautiful. So we're going to make another one of those little strips to fold around it. And then get that other piece of tape ready to tack that down. And I like to just kind of leave that on the edge of the table like that. But you want to make sure that you're putting it on a table that's not going to lift off paint when you lift up the duct tape. This is a glass table, so it won't ruin it. So we're going to take those two pieces, fold them in on each other, and you want to make sure that the smaller piece is about halfway centered on that larger bow. So we're going to take that strip and wrap it around. Cut off any excess that might be showing in the front. We're going to take that piece and tack that down as tightly as possible. And now comes the fun part. We're going to go ahead and fluff this bow up. So just stick your fingers in that little section and fluff it up on both sides. And the smaller bow can be a little bit difficult to fluff. So to fluff up that smaller bow, I'm just going to grab a pencil and stick that into one side. And make sure not to press too hard or you'll end up jabbing whatever it is into your duct tape, ruining the bow. And there you have it. So, like I said earlier, if you'd want to decorate with a Sharpie, what you can do is while your loops are laid out flat, you can kind of just draw any design that you'd want to put on there. So like I'll show you on the center part, I'm going to put polka dots. On the center. And you can kind of do whatever you'd like, maybe zebra print or little hearts. So I'm just doing little polka dots all over it. So you can do it however you'd like. And then if you want to, you can attach a bobby pin on the back side of it through this little loop, and you can stick it in your hair. So I hope you liked my tutorial on how to make duct tape bows. If you end up trying this out at home, be sure to post a picture for me on my Twitter account at ThisGalsLife, or you can post a video response below. I'd love to see them. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.